Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and this time I'll be playing Prey blind. Now, I know next to nothing about this game, apart from a single fact that it has been sort of described as a spiritual successor of sorts to System Shock 2, and it just so happens that I've played System Shock 2, and I rather enjoyed it quite a lot, so based on that fact alone, I was eager to try this, because generally speaking, I have heard a lot of good opinions about this game, but I have made it a priority not to search very deep into it, so it has all been sort of nebulous general praise, as it were. And I don't know any specifics about this game's setting or its story or its mechanics, so it's going to be completely blind. But I am nonetheless, judging from the general opinions I've heard about it, I am looking forward to it. Now, there is one thing I would like to briefly mention. Unfortunately, judging by the testing I have done in the tutorial area, this game seems to have one of the worst audio mixings that I have ever witnessed, because basically the audio levels for the different sort of sources of sound within the game do not seem to be at all balanced, and sometimes various sounds are a lot louder than they should be based upon the settings. At least that's my general impression. For example, the way the characters talk, at least the ones in the beginning area, because I have not played any further, I have just entered the game for like a few minutes to test out the settings of the recording. So the characters in the beginning area, they talk very loudly compared to all of the environmental sounds. And I've tried a bunch of different settings, and I didn't really come upon a solution that I found, ideal. So I apologize if certain sounds within the game will be too loud or too quiet. I just wanted to mention that, I guess it is partially also my fault, because I kind of suck at the whole setting up the recording thing. But I wanted to briefly mention that in this particular game, I feel like it's also the fault of the game itself. And in fact, while searching for the solution of this problem on the internet, I found that many people had the same problem ever since this game was released, which I believe at this point was like 3 years ago, or maybe even more. So yeah, with that being said, let me start a new game. Okay. I am going to play on hard difficulty. The most difficult setting is Nightmare, which apparently mentions that nothing can save me, but because I am pretty bad at games in general, I would say, I won't risk that. Instead, I will go with hard, because I do enjoy a challenge. It is a bit of a paradox, I guess, because I am rather bad at games, but I still find it enjoyable to play them at a higher difficulty, because I enjoy the feeling of overcoming, problems, and of feeling a sense of accomplishment whenever I manage to finish a game on a harder difficulty. So I am going to go with hard. Apparently my wits are the only thing that can keep me alive. And there are also survival mode options. This is a set of optional modifiers to make the game more challenging. Warning, these options cannot be changed beyond this screen. Not recommended for inexperienced players. Now, I am definitely inexperienced, but I would like to have that just for additional immersion, because I'm one of those people who can really sacrifice a lot for like atmosphere. And I always like, in games, for example, such as Fallout New Vegas, I always liked the hardcore mode, with all of the additional challenges it brings and all of the additional mechanics. So apparently it brings weapon degradation, weapons wear down from use, and environmental hazards. If not repaired, they will jam periodically. Traumas. adds new trauma statuses to the game, such as bone fracture, concussion, hemorrhage, and third-degree burns. So I guess those are like permanent, well, or at least semi-permanent debuffs that you can suffer from a particularly nasty fight or something like that, and presumably you need to use some special medical equipment to heal them or something. And oxygen. Suit damage causes air to leak from your suit, limiting your air supply in environments with no atmosphere, such as the station exterior. Okay, let's start then. Okay, so I can be either a man or a woman. I'm going to go with a man. Okay, so apparently I wake up in my apartment in the year 2032. So it's near future. It's not that far into the future at this point, which is kind of crazy, really. Like, I don't really think about it in everyday life, but whenever whenever the end of the year draws near, I am hit with the sudden realization that that it's almost all of those movies who, for example, that were released in the 90s, that were set in like 2030 or 2040 or something. This future, which was pretty far back then, is almost upon us at this point. Like we're 12 years. We have 12 years until we reach the date that is specified in the intro of this game. So that is an interesting perspective, interesting thing to think about, to keep in mind.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Hey, Morgan, wake up. You're burning daylight. You sent the helicopter to pick you up. It's just a few tests. Don't forget to wear your suit. See you soon. Oh, listen, really great you decided to come on board. We're gonna shake things up, Morgan. Like old times.
Okay, so apparently I'm going for some testing. Put your TranStar uniform, which is over here, but first I would like to explore my apartment. Oh, I can actually see my own body, which is a big plus. I always enjoy that in first-person games. Although, that makes me wonder, it seems that Morgan, the protagonist, sleeps with his socks on? Which is mightily weird to me. Like, is that common in, like, the States? Because, to be honest, I myself can't really imagine sleeping with socks on. It would be kind of uncomfortable for me, and not to mention, it would also be kind of hot. Okay, I can play with the lights. Anything on the nightstand? It's just a clock, and then nothing inside. I'm weirded out by the fact that he sleeps with his socks on, but oh well, to each his own, I guess. Oh, there is some plastic tubing. I guess I'm going to take everything, for now at least. Let me see in my inventory. Because I imagine those are used for crafting, right? For crafting, or maybe I can sell them later on. I'm not sure what kind of a game this is, but surely they have some purpose. It says here material yield, so maybe I can exchange them for some kind of a component. So I am going to pick everything up for now. Once I run out of inventory space, I will start deciding what to leave behind. There is some kind of a book, Neuromod application instructions. Warning: neuromods should only be administered by the certified TranStar technicians under controlled conditions. Subject may experience slight discomfort, swelling, or redness of the eye shortly afterward. Remove the neuromod from the vacuum-sealed container. Press rubberized eye cup firmly against bony orbit of the eye socket. Keep the eye open. depress the orange release trigger and continue to hold the neuromod against the eye for 5 minutes. Dispose of used neuromod in a provided biohazard bag. So I guess this is this description of applying some kind of an implant. Judging from the fact that it's called neuromod, I would imagine, and from the fact that you press it against your eye, I would imagine it works in the same way that the transorbital lobotomy would. Basically, it goes through your eye socket into your brain, which is kind of gruesome. I don't think I could do that to myself, but oh well. What's in the wardrobe here? Some shoes, some kind of a chest or something, but I don't think I can open it. Well, I kind of made a mess, but it's my own apartment, so I can afford that. Some flyers, but I don't know what they are related to. A postcard from Austin, Texas. Also a postcard from China. And Kennedy Space Center. Okay. Peterson's Technologies. Again, I'm kind of making a mess of this whole place. But I just want to check everything out. I am a type of player who's very interested. Hold F to pick up multiple items. Okay. Okay. So I can hold F and sort of swipe around to pick up things without pressing several times. I guess it might be useful for whenever there's a group of items lying around together. Some screws and stuff, freight wire. There is another book, Speech Synthesis and Natural Language Generation. Excerpt from Chapter 3 of Speech Synthesis and Natural Language Generation by Sebastian Smith. Voice conversion technology enables synthesis systems to generate speech patterns based on their source or entirely new voices without the need for exhaustive recordings and pre-processing. The quality of the resulting voice depends on the training data as well as the precision of the conversion function and limitations in processing power. Okay. Okay, I have no idea what this is about. Is this some mathematical functions or something? I'm not quite sure. Let's explore my desk further. Some wine, more screws. Let's check my computer. Apparently my password is FF Paradox. TranStar employee workstation often contain useful information, files or utilities. So mine only has emails. Let's check them then. Okay, from Thomas Tucker to Morgan Yu, which is me, and also included is Alex Yu, which I believe is, well, he's for sure some kind of a family to me. He's either my brother or my father. Hello Morgan, so glad you'll be coming aboard. Your first official workday is Monday, March the 15th, which is today. But first we have a series of training exercises we run with all new employees. Just some stuff to clear for your life in orbit. Exciting times ahead, have a good flight and I will see you soon. Thomas Tucker, Human Resources, Talos I Research Facility. There's also delivery. Hey, I sent a package with everything you need on your first day. Uniform, transcribe and a neuromod. Install the neuromod right away, as we'll be running some tests first thing in the morning. Just follow the instructions, I'll be in touch. From Alex. And ready? Hey, I just got off the phone with mom and dad, so he's my brother then. They won't be there when the shuttle departs, they are in New York. Company stuff. But they sent their best. I think Mom is a little disturbed that both of her children are going to be outside of her gravitational pull at the same time. She said you'd better behave and do everything your big brother says. Okay, actually, she said the opposite. I am supposed to behave and do whatever you tell me. So there you go, that's Mom. Anyway, everyone's excited about your ideas up there, so get ready. I'll probably call you in the morning to make sure you're up. See you very, very soon, Morgan. Alex. Okay. Oh, and some boxes of pizza. Lucky's Pizzeria. Anything left inside? Well, I can't exactly open it, so I won't know. But basically, I guess I'm joining my brother on some kind of a research program in a space station. The doors to my balcony are jammed. I can see the panorama of the city. Wait, is that the Golden Gate Bridge? Are we in San Francisco then? I admit I'm probably pretty ignorant as far as famous landmarks go, so if there are any others that are sort of obvious to an American person, I wouldn't know, but this kind of does look like the Golden Gate Bridge. I guess I will learn, where I am eventually. Still, as I said, I don't want to put the uniform on yet, because I want to explore everything there is to see in my apartment. Okay, I have a console of some sorts. Apparently. Yeah. Monday, March the 15th, 2032. Apparently it's sunny outside, which I can also clearly see. And more books. Okay, so let's read that. An account of Fermi's question, an excerpt from the book on the existence of the extraterrestrial intelligence by Dr. Robert James III. Consider that there are billions of stars in the galaxy like our Sun, many of them older. Some of these stars will have Earth-like planets. Some of these planets might have developed intelligent life. Some intelligent life might develop interstellar travel. If a civilization began before ours, it seems possible, even probable, that even at the speed of currently envisioned interstellar travel, they could already have the entire galaxy colonized. The problem is, we haven't detected any such civilizations, nor have they contacted us. Why? Yeah, I believe this is actually the Fermi's question, which is basically, the sort of the seeming paradox of the number of planets and stars in the universe and the apparent lack of any other intelligent life. Well, to be honest, at this point, any other life whatsoever apart from what is found on Earth. Okay, there's a photo. So I believe this is me, right? And this is Alex, my brother. So those would be our parents then? Can I take a closer look? I can. Okay, that's kind of a creepy photo. We look like kind of a crime family or something. All of our expressions are very dire and sort of, I don't know, almost like threatening. For example, the way our father, presumably, on the right there, looks, he looks kind of threatening to me. But oh well, maybe I'm over-interpreting it. Oh, sorry about that. How do I let it down gently? Well, apparently it's not going to happen, so I'm sorry. Oh, some kind of a board game. Galactic Conquistadors 9. Okay. Anything on the other side? Obscura Factorium. Okay, so just a manufacturer. Okay, let's continue with the books, because there are quite a few of them. So, Midnight Songs, a classic anthology of Tang Dynasty verse, excerpt from an anthology of Tang poetry, On the Stork Tower by Wang. Well, to be honest, I don't really want to read all of those Chinese names, because I'm obviously mispronouncing them horribly, which is presumably a bit annoying or perhaps even offensive to any Chinese people watching. So you know, but unfortunately I can't read Chinese either, so like at all. So I don't have no idea what this says. And from the fact that it isn't translated for me, I would imagine that Morgan does not know Chinese either, although To be honest, that's kind of weird, because, well, I guess maybe not weird, but isn't Yu a Chinese surname? Like, isn't he himself presumably maybe part Chinese? He has also postcards from China, but I guess he might have been there as a tourist. So let's continue with checking out the books. Okay, Tang Dynasty. Introduction to Survey of Parapsychological Meta-Analysis. Excerpt from an introduction. Well, it always says this, repeats the title over there, so from an introduction to the survey of parapsychological meta-analysis by Dr. Deo Igwe. For example, conducting a meta-analysis of over 2,000 Gansfeld trials, wherein participants are subjected to mild sensory deprivation in order to test for telepathy, reveals a hit rate of 39%. These results are statistically significant, meaning that the success rate is well above what can be explained by chance alone. There is no denying it. Something spooky is going on. So apparently, some sort of psychic power is being what's the word, researched, which I guess would be in line with System Shock 2, right? Because System Shock 2 actually had quite an extensive tree of psionic abilities that you could use, and if this is supposed to be a spiritual successor of sorts to System Shock 2, oh damn it, to System Shock 2, then it would stand to reason that it would have similar abilities. Principles of Neuroscience, 10th edition. The brain was once considered too warm, wet, and noisy for seemingly delicate quantum processes. However, the discovery of quantum coherence in biological processes such as plant photosynthesis, avian navigation, and our own sense of smell paved the way for eventual discovery of quantum vibrations inside the microtubules of neurons. Okay, actually, I have no idea what this means. I have no idea how photosynthesis or the sense of human smell is supposed to be an example of quantum coherence. And to be honest, I don't even know what quantum coherence is supposed to be. So, well, I guess I'm not going to learn much from this. Engineering control systems. There's a metaphor here, Typically, the objective of control theory is to monitor the output of a system and compare it with the desired output, the reference signal. The difference between the actual and the desired outputs, the error signal, is applied as feedback to the input in the system, and to bring the actual output closer to the preference. Good control systems and good engineers learn from the past. Okay. Okay, I've explored this. There is some kind of a newspaper clipping from the Courier. And again, I think this is clearly Alex Yu, right? My brother. And this, I think, is me, judging from the way my face looked in the mirror during the intro. But unfortunately, I cannot read anything else. So I guess what I am supposed to glean from this is that we are, or at least were at some point, well known enough to have our likenesses on the front page of a newspaper. Okay, this is a bathroom. A selection of ties. Empty cabinet. The mirror doesn't work, which is disappointing. I always like when mirrors accurately reflect reality in games, but it's notoriously notoriously performance heavy to program a mirror, so most developers just don't care. Okay, some dirty socks. Can I take a shower? Well, I guess I shouldn't take a shower in my pajamas, but it's too late for regrets now. well, at least my toilet paper is sort of the correct way, you know, with the outstretched part on the outside, because some people put it the other way, which is kind of weird to me. But well, okay, and there is the kitchen, sparkling wine. Yeah, let's take it for now. As I said, I'm going to take everything for now, and once I run out of inventory space, I'm going to sort of think what to leave behind. Congrats, Morgan, from Alex. Okay. And the method psi. Excerpt from the Architects of Neurological Revolution. What if I told you that I could turn into a mathematician on the level of Einstein in under 10 minutes? I'd say you're full of it. That's the first thought that crosses my mind, but it withers in the face of Alex Yu's conviction. Despite myself, I'm riveted. He's not bullshitting me. Himself? Maybe. Me? No. Alex leans back in his chair. Welcome to the age of the neuromod. Okay, so definitely, at least my brother is very well known, because he's been printed in some kind of a magazine talking about the benefits of the neuromods. Okay. Some weird out-of-place ladle over there. Oh, there are some postcards or something. This kind of leaflet or something, it repeated itself a bunch of times over my apartment, but unfortunately I don't know what it is about. VIP, no, via AIP Leo something. Unfortunately, I can't really read anything out of the letters, and I don't think I'm supposed to. You know, they are here just for flavor. The Heart of the Wok, or Wok. Is it about the cooking? Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know how to read that because again, it's a Chinese name, I presume, for the particular kind of cooking, which I believe involves a lot of noodles. Excerpt from chapter 5 of The Heart of the Wok by P. Sudo. Cooking with a well-seasoned wok or wok, I don't know, can be sublime, almost spiritual experience. The many layers of blackened surface are like stored memories of all meals that have gone in and out the carbon steel bowl before, now imprinting echoes of the rich flavor into new each meal it is tasked to cook. What? I have no idea what this is about. Are they implying that if you cook in this particular style of cooking, you're not supposed to clean your cookware? Because it says the many layers of blackened surface are like storied memories of all the meals that have gone in and out. So is this implying that you're not supposed to clean it? Which seems impossible. Like, come on. I don't think it's supposed to work like that. But again, I guess it betrays my general overwhelming ignorance in the matters of pretty much everything. Okay, some food, I guess. Sun-dried tomato jerky. That sounds disgusting. Jerky should be made out of meat, you know. Okay. Encyclopedia of Food, Science and Cooking. Transglutaminase, TG, a naturally occurring enzyme found in plants, animals and bacteria. TG is often used to bond protein-containing foods together and in the production of foods such as imitation crab meat and fish balls, known colloquially by the chefs as meat glue. Chef Shaw's tip: gluing chicken skin to salmon will actually protect the outside of salmon from overcooking. Wait, what? Like, I knew about the sort of meat glue, because that is something I have heard about, but this last tip seems a little deranged to me, but then again, I'm not particularly good at cooking. In fact, you would say I'm pretty horrible. I mostly eat pre-prepared food or like go and eat out at town or like order something. The amount of things I can adequately prepare for myself is like embarrassingly low. So I wouldn't know if it is a legit tip. But it just sounds pretty weird, I must admit. Refrigerator. Okay, Sky King pomegranate and cold mountain green tea. Okay. As I said, I'm going to take everything for now, and we'll see later on. We'll see later on what I can throw out once I run out of the space in my inventory. Again, I cannot read anything out here, so I think I'm more or less done. Let me equip my suit and finally get out of the apartment. Although I have to question the logic of the protagonist to dress himself in the suit. Like, he didn't even change out of his pajamas. Like, he didn't even wash himself. Well, I guess I did wash him, but I did it still wearing my pajamas that I slept in. And then he straight up is wearing the suit on top of his pajamas, on top of the clothes that he sleeps in, which seems weird to me. I would imagine, if this is supposed to be akin to where like like an astronaut's suit, you know, shouldn't there be some kind of an specialized undergarment that you're supposed to wear underneath? Well, let's go outside. Apparently I live in the apartment 4509, which does not seem to bear any particular significance that I know of. However, 451 is a very famous number in gaming circles, because it's sort of like an Easter egg almost that comes back from the days of, well, actually System Shock, or was it in System Shock 1? It for sure was in the Deus Ex games, and then in System Shock 2, and then in Bioshock, and in few others, because it has to do with the developers of the. Well, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm no longer sure in which game did it appear the first. But basically, it's like a number that's repeated in a lot of games in which some of the same people worked on. I'm going to put a few links in the description with like an exhaustive list of the games the number 451 appears in, as well as some more explanation about its origins. Because basically, well, to be honest, at this point again, I kind of forgot what was the exact story, because I was about to say that the real story of this number's importance is like less flashy than the urban legend, but then I kind of realized that I've already forgotten what the urban legend even was. Like, I think people used to think that it was the office number of the people that worked on the first game that it was used in, which I think might have been System Shock 1. But again, I'm not sure. I'm for sure certain that it was in System Shock 2, but I don't remember about 1. Anyway, I'm going to post relevant links in the description so that you can, investigate that further if you want. There is a small aquarium, I guess.
Morning, Mr. Yu.
1 West. 63rd Avenue, Tower B. Notice from building management. Water pressure issues have been identified and are being resolved. We apologize for any inconvenience this might have caused. Apparently I'm on the 45th floor, which is quite high. Anything more to say?
Heard there's a chopper on the roof. Must be for you.
Oh, I actually saw it flying towards me, I think, through the window.
You'll have to take the elevator. These things can be tricky, you know. Down the hall. But you know that, I guess.
Yeah, seeing from the fact that I've been living here for some time, I presumably would know that.
Aren't you going to be late? You're supposed to keep going.
Wait. What? She had like, she suddenly changed to like a hushed tone, almost like she was worried about something.
You're going to get me in trouble.
Okay, this is seriously suspicious.
I can't talk to you anymore.
Okay, this is weird, because she's clearly kind of almost like scared of something. And I can't talk with her anymore, so I guess I have exhausted all of her lines. Use space to jump and shift to sprint. Press Control to crouch or to slide while sprinting. Ah, okay, interesting. That's an interesting move. I'm not sure how often it's going to be useful, but presumably it might be useful in some platforming. Apparently the only two options they have is my floor or the roof, which is kind of hilarious, because what if I wanted to leave the building? Like, why isn't there the first floor as an option? Well, let's go. And also, apparently the elevator itself identified me, presumably because of some kind of a tracking device, because it says hello hello Morgan Yu, which is me. So it's interesting that apparently the building itself knows who enters the elevator, which is actually a bit creepy when you think about it. Echelon Residential Tower. Okay. Transtar Corporation. Anything interesting around here? Does not look like it. And I can't really even view the city because the railing is too high. So I think I'm going to just enter the chopper and be on my way. Push to open, yeah, right.
Mr. Yu, please make yourself comfortable and we'll be on our way. TranStar facility is just a short hop. 78 degrees, clear skies all the way.
Sphere distribution, ISO, JTG. Something about transgressions, I think. I think it was an advertisement for a movie, right? Yeah, and there is the bridge.
That's a nice view on the bay there.
Is this supposed to be the Golden Gate Bridge? Again, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I am a fan of the credits being sort of...
Here we are, Mr. Yu. Mind the glass on the way out. Good luck to you.
Being sort of presented almost like part of the game's world, because they were literally almost like 3D printed across the city as they moved about it. And it was kind of weird, like you could see the title of the game in the same lettering as this TranStar symbol over here, which I'm not sure what to think about. And also, I kind of question the logistics of me taking a chopper just to fly a few blocks across the city. Like, wouldn't it be more cost effective to just have me take a car or something?
Hello, Dr. Yu. I'm a Sybil 495 science class operator. It won't be long before you're on a shuttle bound for Talos I. Everyone's eager to see what you're capable of, Dr. Yu. I know I am. Our research often requires intense focus and long hours. I can provide you with a psychoactive stimulant after the test, if necessary.
Okay, that's kind of a weird offer, but
My instruments are calibrated for high-volume data analysis and live readings. Don't worry, nothing will be missed.
okay. This character, this robot or whatever, it sounds very quiet compared to the woman in the corridor that was fixing the pipes, and that's kind of what I was talking about.
TranStar has over a dozen state-of-the-art facilities across the globe. More, if you count the entire Earth-Moon system. All our labs meet the minimum. Strange. That's never happened before. I'll have to file a maintenance request. Please excuse me, Dr. Yu. The elevator will take you directly to the testing area. I'm sure your brother is waiting for you.
Okay.
Calibrating.
And apparently the last frontier is the human mind, and we are its priorities, said William Yu at some point, which I guess was our father or some kind of our other ancestor who maybe founded this corporation, TranStar. Okay, nothing else to do here, so let's just go.
Morgan Yu. You have a 9 a.m. appointment in the testing facility. Please confirm.
Yeah, confirm.
Morgan! Finally!
Yes, just compare Alex's voice to that robot. Like, it is a huge difference in volume, even though I haven't changed any of the options in the meantime, and I don't know how to properly calibrate it also with my own voice and with the voices of with the sounds of the environment. So overall, I'm pretty annoyed already by this particular shortcoming of the game, but oh well. Floor orientation. Welcome, Morgan Yu. Okay, let's go talk with my brother.
Hey, you don't look terrible in a TranStar uniform. How's your eye? Still red? I know the test might seem a little unconventional, but it's a Yu family tradition. Breaking convention is in our blood. Once you start the test, just do whatever comes natural. Don't overthink it. Dr. Bellamy's going to walk you through the process. You're in good hands. We'll be in orbit next week. I promise.
Mr. Yu, they're ready for your brother in room A.
Right. Listen, just be yourself. I'll see you after.
Okay.
I wish I could show you what I've been working on.
Dr. Yu.
You better get in there before Bellamy gets impatient.
Okay, so I guess this exhausts his dialogue options, and I
They're
cannot.
waiting for you, sir.
I cannot talk with this one, so I guess I'm just supposed to keep going. Authorized personnel only, clearance required beyond this point. And there is a glowing medkit, which seems to point at the fact that I will be able to go there eventually, because otherwise, why would they pick an item and signify that I can pick it up? Okay, there is a DNA magazine. Did TranStar unlock the secrets of the human mind? Or rather the human brain? Excerpt from the Architects of Neurological Revolution. Oh, I actually read that exact issue in my own apartment, because it's about Alex extolling the sort of advantages of the neuro mods. Testing rooms, okay.
Good morning, Morgan. I'm Dr. Bellamy. Looks like we have some tests to run through today. Probably not the kind of thing you're used to, I imagine, but trust me, you're going to do fantastic. All good? Great. Let's begin. For this first test, I'd like you to remove the boxes from the red circle as quickly as you can. Just go with your gut. Okay? Wonderful. Press the red button when you're ready.
Obviously, I understand that within the scope of the game, it's kind of a tutorial, right? But I don't really know.
Glass won't break, will it?
Wonderful. You're absolutely fine. Let's move on to room B then.
But so I understand it's a tutorial, and it's supposed to teach me, the player, some necessary skills such as picking up items and, moving them. But I don't really understand what's this supposed to test in universe.
Okay, Morgan, listen carefully. I'd like you to do your best to hide in this room. Take your time, relax, think it over. No, I'm kidding. You only have 9 seconds.
What?
Press the red button when you're ready to start.
Wait, let me think about it. I don't... Well, I guess I can cover myself with
Morgan,
a chair
we can see you there.
or something.
Just press the red button.
But apart from that, I have no idea how to... Like, I guess I could sort of hack the wall over here, but I don't think it's possible from...
Did you see what they had in the cafeteria this morning? Crepes.
What was that? Almost like a speaker
Yu.
malfunctioning?
Morgan, we're ready.
Well, I'm not ready because I don't know how to hide in this. Like, I guess I could hack the wall over here, but the game won't let me do it. I cannot go any closer than this. I guess I'm just going to hide behind the chair or something.
The red button starts the test. Any synaptic register at all? No? No, that's fine. Sorry, let's keep things moving, Morgan. Head into room C. You're doing marvelous.
Okay, that was pretty weird. Like, what was he expecting me to do? I don't think there was any good way to hide in this room. And even then, I'm not sure what this was supposed to test exactly.
All right. Here we go. For this test, please press the blue button across the room as quickly as you can in the most natural, intuitive way possible, without thinking. Just go for it. Press the red button when you're ready. I'm sorry, can someone please explain to me what's happening? Simmons?
I installed exactly what Tina brought down.
Did you double check?
Speaker's still on.
I apologize, Morgan. We're having some trouble with the equipment. Not your fault. You're doing fabulous, actually. One last room. Let's step into D.
It seems that they were expecting me to do differently. Like, he said, can someone explain to me what is happening? And the other guy said, we installed exactly what they brought. So it seems maybe there's something wrong with my neuromod or something. They expected me to have some kind of an ability that I don't apparently have, or I'm not acting in a way I was supposed to act according to their what's the word? Predictions. And also, it says simulation on top over there. Simulation. So that's kind of interesting. There's also something on the other side of those windows, but I can't really have a good look on it. There's something colorful over there, but I cannot exactly pinpoint to what it is. Oh well, I guess for now, let's just continue onwards with the tests.
Can someone get me a cup of coffee? I would appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, Morgan. Have a seat at the table for me, please.
Okay.
Wonderful job. Take a look at the screen in front of you. I'm going to show you a series of questions. Pick the answer that makes the most sense to you. Press start on the screen when you're ready.
Okay. You're planning to go on vacation. Go somewhere familiar you love, or try something new. Well, to be honest...
Whenever you're ready, Morgan.
I'm not sure if it has any significance in the game, but for me, I guess if I am going on vacation, like, I like familiarity, to be honest. I like routines, and I don't like going on vacation in the traditional sense that people understand it that much, but I would say if I am going, might as well go somewhere new.
Good. Looks like you've got the hang of it. Keep going.
You've been sentenced to death for your actions. How does that make you feel? Calm, it was worth it. Well, to be honest, I guess that kind of mightily depends on whether I myself think it was warranted, you know? Whether I myself think it was, I deserve it. Because, you know, that is an awfully broad question. I might have been unlawfully sentenced by like a tyrannical regime, in which case I would feel different than I would if I really did something that warranted a capital punishment. But I guess mostly I would probably feel afraid. I don't know what is going to happen.
Ooh, that's heavy stuff.
A runaway train is bearing down on 5 people who are tied to the track. You can cause the train to switch tracks, but there is one person tied to the second track. Oh, so it's of course it's the very famous, it's the most famous postulation of the whole. What's the word? What is it called again in English? The trolley problem, which is kind of like, to be honest, I could have spent like the next half hour explaining in detail my position on this, because it's rather complicated for me. Despite what it might seem to many people, I think that the initial sort of instinct of trying to calculate the value of human life numerically and coming at the conclusion that sacrificing one person to save 5 people is the right thing to do, I generally think it leads you down, if you take this conclusion to its logical extremes, it leads you down some very troubling routes. And in general, I would say it's not the right idea to assume this kind of mind frame, because if you would consequentially, live up to this exact train of thought, you would come at the conclusion of the fact that it would be morally justified and in fact necessary and right to, for example, kill 4 out of every 10 people in the world if it was supposed to save the other 6. Like, you could justify pretty much some horrifically horrifically cruel treatments of people, just because from a sort of mathematical standpoint, their suffering, the number of the suffering people would be lower than the potential gains, because obviously, in essence, utilitarian approach can be boiled down to the end justifies the means, and I am not going to ever agree with that in general, but obviously I also understand I understand this way of thinking, and I understand this instinct that someone might have had to sacrifice this one person to save the other 5. Because so I don't think it's a good idea to go down this route, but I understand why someone would think that it is, and it would be kind of difficult for me to outright condemn them, maybe. I would understand why they did it, so I guess I'm going to choose do nothing. As I said, I could ramble on this subject for like a half an hour, but it would be probably pretty boring for you. Not to mention, this episode is getting rather long, so maybe I will get back to it at some point. I guess for now I'm going to do nothing, but I would understand if somebody would choose option A. It's just not as easy for me. Although, incidentally, John Stuart Mill, who is one of the most famous philosophers, one of the most famous utilitarian philosophers, who would argue that you should sacrifice the one person for the other five, he would say that my personal view of this matter is me putting my own feeling of virtue above the life of the five people. So basically he would say that I prefer to sort of keep my hands clean, and I value it more than I value the lives of the people. So, and it is to a degree a strong argument, I feel like, because you can see it like that. You can see the action of sacrificing that one person as a sort of responsibility that the person that chooses to do it takes, and they choose to live with the fact that they've killed that one person to save the other five. It is a good enough argument, I guess, but for me, I just personally think that if we were to boil down the value of human life to purely numerical to purely numerical values, it could lead to disastrous consequences, and I don't think it's the right thing to do overall. So I'm going to do nothing.
Not your problem, right?
Well, not exactly how I view it, but a runaway train is bearing down on five people. You're standing on the platform next to an enormously fat man. Pushing him into the track would stop the train. So this is like a variation. It is all very famous stuff taught in like entry-level ethics classes. I actually discussed those very scenarios at the university, because it's interesting how your perspective changes, because from a fundamental standpoint of consequences, this example is not at all different to the previous one. You're still sacrificing one person to save five people, but the difference is emotional, because you have to actively kill that person. You have to actively throw him onto the tracks, leading to his death. And it's interesting whenever you discuss those ideas in class, for example, to see how people's perspective changes, even though the situation is fundamentally the same. People who agreed in the previous question that it was right to sacrifice one person to save the other five would hesitate in this one, even though it is fundamentally the same, but emotionally it's different. So again, I'm going to do nothing.
Almost done.
A runaway train is bearing down on five people tied to the track. You could stop the train by jumping onto the track, but you would die. Apparently, I can still push the fat man onto the track, even though he's not even mentioned in the question itself. Now, obviously, I think everyone would choose this in a test, but I cannot, and I can only sort of hope and pray that I would have enough moral, fortitude and moral courage to actually do it, should the situation call for it. I don't think I would, unfortunately. I think I would probably just piss myself with fear and do nothing, most likely, but I would like to hope and believe that I could do that, and I definitely think I should do that. Well, maybe not should, because I guess it's difficult. You shouldn't. I maybe should rephrase that, because I don't think people have a moral obligation to sacrifice themselves for other people. but I feel like if they would, then it's something that's admirable, and I would strive to be able to do it. Not necessarily, I do not necessarily think that I would be obligated to do it, but I would like to be able to do it, if you understand what I mean. So let's try that.
Wow. I'm impressed. Well done. Well done. We're nearly through it. For this next part, I'm going to display an image. I want you to take a good look at it.
Wait.
I'm going to ask you what...
What has just happened? There's like a black tentacle? And another coffee cup. Whoa. Whoa. What the hell? What the hell has just happened? Okay, that was pretty weird.
Alex,
Simmons, what's going on?
we have a problem.
What about Morgan?
He's alive, sedated.
Clean it up. I'm on my way.
Got it.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032.
Okay, so this seems to be a bit of a like a Groundhog Day situation, because I woke again in my apartment, and the date is once again March the 15th, but I have not received a message from Alex this time, and apparently all of my inventory is empty, and from the quick glance around, I can see that all of the items have been well, restored to their original position, even inside this nightstand, for example. So it's definitely weird and kind of disconcerting, but regardless, I feel like this episode was long enough, so I'm going to save. No, save. I'm going to save. Did I save? Yeah, I did. And actually end it for now. So that's all for this one. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.